All right. Hey, good morning, Advanced EL Support class. Hope all is well with you. It is Thursday class. Remember, the expectation is that you tune in to these at some point on Monday when I put them up, and at some point on Thursday when I put them up. I'm still not hearing from some of you guys. Let me know if there's any issues with technology. The due dates are all flexible on this work at this point until we find out what the grading policy is from the district about this semester, whether it's going to be pass, no pass, or what. All right. Oh, there goes the garbage. The street cleaner. Anyway, let me remind you what the Monday's work is, because I have gotten that from some of you and others I haven't. That was to do a dear log and then to do the prefix work that I attached to that piece. Remember, the prefix is little pieces of words in front of other words, and we can know what the prefixes mean, and then we can figure out what the other words that they're attached to mean. All right, we're looking at post, which means behind or after, as you know. So that's the work I want you to do. I attached that document to this email as well, in case you missed Monday's class for some reason. It's fine, but just stay in contact with me now. Don't drift off out there. All right. I hope you saw the agenda, brief agenda, before you click the video link to see my smiling face coming at you. Today is kind of like our last meeting of the week. So what I'd like you guys to do is do a free write. Do a dear log like you would have done in your notebooks back in class, but this is just a free write, okay? I would like you to speak briefly about your other English class. Just tell me who your English teacher is and what you guys are doing. But the main thing I'd like the free write to be is just a little check-in. Where's your head at? How are things going with you? It can be what you're thinking about, sort of, or it can be what's actually happening, or it can be about your, I don't know, your little brother who's driving you crazy or whatever. But just a free write, okay? And then I'm going to review those prefix words right now. And I want you guys to go ahead and use those words each in a sentence of their own, all right? So Thursday's work, today's work, which is due Monday, is simply a free write, which addresses something about your other English class, and then just use the prefix words, the English words with post starting them, each in a sentence. So you guys are going to send me a Google Doc with a free write, and then all it has to have is 5 sentences, one using each of the 5 words, right? Posterior, postgraduate, posthumous, apostle, and post-apocalyptic, all right? So pretty modest. And again, we're going to start a little mini poetry unit soon that's going to go through the rest of the year, but I haven't decided when to start that exactly. Just keep tuning in on Mondays and Thursdays, and I'll let you know. Also, I'm going to start posting the last couple of assignments on grading period 6 on Synergy. I'm going to switch it from grading period 5 and flash grading period 6. So keep your eyes open for that. Check Synergy for first period, and you'll begin to see some assignments, some recent assignments appear on that, all right? So, as I said, I want to review the prefix stuff. So let me see if I can manage to pull off a screen share here. Good, that's the stuff, and share that baby. Okay, cool. Let me flare this out. All right, this should look familiar. If it doesn't, don't worry. This is the attachment at the bottom of this email, this class email communication. All right, but I wanted to briefly go over this. Again, the words are posterior, postgraduate, posthumous, apostle, and post-apocalyptic. All right, remember what I wanted you to do. First, define the word in English using a dictionary. Define the word in your home language. And again, you're putting this all in a Google Doc so that I can see that you did the work. And then number 3, again, this is the wonky one, rewrite the English definition using the prefix meaning of post. In other words, rewrite the English definition of posterior, for example, actually including the words behind or after, because that is what post means. Again, remember, this was stuff you would see on my board, and these were the same 3 things that we generally did with it. As you know, if you've done this already and turned it into me, I'm asking you to use these 5 words now in a sentence of your own, okay? And you're attaching that simply to a free write. That's all the work I'm having you do for me for this class and until Monday. All right. So again, posterior, the definition you got is probably something like it's a noun, right? So it's a thing, posterior. It's a region toward the rear or toward the back of something, right? It can also be used, posterior can refer to your butt, to your booty, right? Because that's kind of the back end of you. So think of it that way if you have to. Posterior, kind of like booty, which is to say at the back of you. And that's referring to, so that's what posterior is, a region referring to the back or the rear of something. Okay. How could you rewrite that definition using behind or after? The posterior is a region that comes behind or after the rest of the thing. Remember, posterior is a thing, but it refers to a region, the region behind or after. So there you go. That is your prefix meaning. We've made the full connection there. All right. Postgraduate is an adjective. It describes a state after you graduate. After you graduate. So you can talk about your postgraduate plans. When you graduate from high school, what do you want to do, right? Those would be your postgraduate plans, your plans for after or behind your graduation ceremony, all right? Posthumous, great word. It's an adjective, and it refers to something that happens after death. Posthumous, after death. So for example, it's really sad, but this happens sometimes. Sometimes a great writer will receive an award, a posthumous award. They died, but they gave you the award anyway. They gave it to your, I don't know, your daughter or something like that, right? So posthumous literally means after death, or behind the death, okay? Apostle, apostle generally refers to religious figures, right? Like the 12 apostles for Jesus, for those of my Christian or Catholic brothers and sisters out there, right? But it generally means a follower of a religious figure or a deity, right? An apostle is someone who follows. In this case, in case of the 12 apostles, they followed Jesus, right? These were like his most loyal crew or whatever. So the apostle, how do you rewrite that definition using behind or after? Well, an apostle is somebody who follows behind Jesus or follows after Jesus. They're literally his followers, right? So apostle, we see a slightly different use of the post in that word. And then you can probably figure out what this means. Post-apocalyptic, what is an apocalypse? An apocalypse is the end of the world or something that damn near destroys the world. So post-apocalyptic refers to after the disaster, after the nuclear war, right? After the thing that destroys the world as we know it. Hopefully this pandemic will not prove to be apocalyptic. Just seems that way now. But post-apocalyptic obviously refers to a world. It's an adjective, right? Describing a world after the apocalypse, which would not be a pretty picture. That's been the subject of science fiction and horror films. What would happen the day after, a nuclear attack or something like that. All right. So that should hopefully give you guys a sense of what these definitions should be. If you haven't done it yet, I still expect you to look them up in a dictionary, define them in your home language, and then play this game that I just played, trying to rewrite the definition using behind or after specifically. So you can make a connection between the prefix and the English words. All right. So again, that was Monday's work, this. And all I'm asking you to do today is use each of these words in a sentence, please. So let's stop the screen share and come back to me. All right, cool. So that's all I got for you today. So let's review, shall we? Monday's assignment was one dear log, read for 20 minutes, and then write me one dear log and do this prefix work. It'd be easier if you guys did that all in one document and then shared it with me on Google Docs, right? But if you have to do them separately, that's fine, okay? And then we have today's assignment that I'm giving you right now, which is due by Monday, let's say. And that is simply a free write, which at least mentions what's going on in your other English class, and using each of those 5 words in a sentence of your own. Okay, so that's what this assignment that you send me over the weekend or whatever will look like. Okay, I'm not getting anybody calling me during office hours, so I assume you guys are okay. A couple of you guys I haven't heard from for a little over a week. So I'll be trying to check in with you guys. But again, I hope all is okay. Again, these due dates are flexible, but try and keep up with the classes. Again, the idea is you're checking in on Monday and watching my little video link and looking at the agenda, doing that work. And then Thursday, those are our 2 class meetings. Even though we're not doing them live, we're doing them asynchronously, right? I'm recording it now and posting it. And you guys watch it when you can, because I'm assuming you guys are busy. You have things to do. And I can't hold you accountable for being in one place at one particular time. All right. Well, let me know if you have any issues. Again, I've left my phone number and you know my email. Please contact me if there's any issues. And as I said, I hope all is well. And I'll check in with you guys on Monday. You guys take care of yourselves now.